North Miami Beach City Manager Arthur H. Story III, and joining me this morning, I have my Vice Mayor Hollywood Lord, Mayor Anthony Filippo, my police Richard Red, our Chief of Staff Willis Howard, our Assistant City Manager Janelle Merzius, and our City Attorney Hans Ataman. We're here to provide an update on the situation in Crestview Tower Condominium. Since its closure last Friday, the city and other agencies have invested significant time and effort on a full structural and safety assessment of the building. We understand this has been extremely difficult for residents who have been displaced, and we know how anxious they are to return home. I can't stress enough, this is a very serious situation. We have a legal and moral obligation to ensure their home, this building, is safe. Last Friday, after receiving the condo's 40-year recertification report that concluded that the building was structurally and electrically unsafe, we had to make the difficult decision to close the building and order an evacuation. We directed the association to provide an updated recertification report and tell us their next steps and a timeline so residents can safely re-enter their units. On Tuesday, the association submitted structural and electrical surveys based on assessments done by their experts last Saturday. The city rejected those reports because they did not comply with the recertification process. More importantly, they did not address the problems raised in the condo's original 40-year recertification, dated January 11th, which was submitted last Friday. In April, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue conducted a re-inspection of the building to assess fire safety and cited the building for 18 violations, including inadequate emergency lighting, lack of emergency generators, lapsed inspections, and maintenance of fire equipment, and more. Those violations are still pending. At this time, I'm going to introduce Chief Brand. After the building closure last Friday, some individuals contacted North Miami Police with information they wanted a closer look. I'd like to bring up Chief Brand to briefly mention that.
Good morning, everyone. As Manager Story said, my name is Richard Rand. I'm the Chief of Police of the North Miami Beach Police Department. I know I met many of you the night of the evacuation of the building. I'm here to report that that night, as well as the following days, I have been getting emails and complainants that are complaining that there's a possibility, I'm not saying that we've proven anything yet, that there's possible misappropriation of funds by this association and the associations in the past. As the police chief, we have launched an investigation to listen to the residents of this condominium. I can tell you that we're taking this very serious. We have an obligation to the residents of North Miami Beach. We stand for what's right. We listen to our residents and we respond appropriately. I will be able to give you a little bit of information as to anybody that has any complaints or lives in a condo association in Miami-Dade to report any type of fraudulent activity that they believe is going on in their association. The website is My Florida License, MyFloridaLicense.com. Condo associations are regulated by the Department of Business and Professional Regulations in the state of Florida. They send investigators here. They overlook and see what's going on. If they find evidence of a crime, they contact the police department and we step in. If criminal charges are needed, I promise you they will be brought forward. I have been in touch with the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office. I have been in touch with the Department of Professional Regulations. We're very serious about this, and it's time that we stand up for our residents and people that live in these condo associations and they're displaced. With the support of my mayor, my vice mayor, my manager, my commission, we are going to get to the bottom of this and get residents answers that they deserve. Is there any questions? Yes, sir. I'm sorry, manager. I'll take questions after. I'll take questions, Peter.
The safety of Crestview Town residents has been a top priority for all of us. We know we have had a disruption for the families, and we know they want to know when they can return home. I assure them that we're working diligently and quickly as possible to get answers. A special thanks to our mayor and council, Miami-Dade's Homeless Trust, and Congresswoman Frederica Wilson for bringing the Miami Dolphins to the table to assist with meals for our displaced family. At this time, we'll open it up to...
Mr. Ray, can you highlight the structural engineer's report hired by the Condo Association? Found a lot of questions and cracks and damage. Can you highlight what that report said? And then also, the report concluded by saying that the building's structurally safe certificate of occupancy while work continues. So first of all, can you highlight what was found in that report and why it's not safe for people to return while repairs are being done?
Well, I'll let you. I will say that the report didn't follow the 40-year recertification process. There's a special report that's outlined by Miami-Dade County, that's the 40-year certification process. They didn't follow that process in their reporting. So it has to be, as we would say, apples to apples. So they're working diligently now to get that report placed in that format. Until that is done, we will not be moving forward with bringing anybody back to the building.
That report seemed to be pretty damaging. I mean, there's a litany of quotes and problems and photographs. We looked at it all. What's your reaction to that engineer's report?
The one thing I would like to stress is that the engineer's report was paid for by the condo association. That was not a city's engineer that put that report together. So the condo association worked with that engineer, the original engineer. They provided their report. I'll leave those questions to the condo to answer.
When do you think it'll be safe for people to return here?
We don't have a timeline right now.
No timeline. Anybody else can talk about that report and how damaging it appeared to be?
You know, we've spoken with a lot of residents who said all they want to do is just go inside and get their belongings. They want to move somewhere else, but they can't do that. I mean, is there any way to orchestrate a way for them to get inside of the building?
We're working right now. The police chief has worked on a plan. We will be releasing the plan today. Will be updated on our city's website, and the contact number that we've given to residents to call in to get updates. We're working on a plan for sometime tomorrow to get those individuals in. It won't be to move furniture or anything out, but it will be to address any medications, any personal items that they need right now. We won't be moving forward with any furniture removal, but I think we're going to have a system set in place where every owner or every person in the building will get 15 minutes to get into their apartment, of course accompanied by an officer or a security guard to get their stuff out that they need to move forward.
The hotline doesn't answer questions.
In looking at the documents that were released, am I reading it right where there's more than $500,000 worth of fines that are pending?
Yes.
And then to the chief about the potential charges, could you talk about what you have found that has raised so much concern?
So right now we're in the beginning stages of this investigation. We're currently going to work with our detectives at the Department of Business Regulations and the State Attorney's Office to begin subpoenaing records. There's nothing concrete that I can tell you right now. These are allegations that are coming in now that are possible misuse of funds. So I have nothing to say right now with regards to that. I don't have that information right now.
Rich, can you tell us roughly how much
Hold on.
money?
Just to make sure I understand, when you say misuse of funds, is it HOA fees with the contributions of the residents towards the association?
So very good question, and I forgot to mention that. So there's a very fine line between condo associations acting in a criminal matter and condo associations that act under their condo documents, which is a civil issue. So I'm not sure yet what it looks like until we get into the investigation. I have to actually have my investigators look at the condo docs, see what they are to do by their laws, by their own condo laws, and then look at what the state statute says with regards to misappropriation of funds. There's a lot of things that have to be looked at before I can answer that question. And we're looking at all of that.
Question.
Rich,
This
hold on,
building,
Corey.
Hold on one second. I'm sorry, Peter.
Can you tell me how much money roughly may have been misappropriated? I don't know, for an allegation.
I don't have an answer for you, Peter. I don't know. Again, it's the beginning of the investigation, and I don't have an answer yet.
this building was
I'm sorry,
years past.
please.
Okay.
There's another media TV.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
This building was years past the certification mark. Why was something not done earlier? I understand fines were given to the association, but it seems like it should be shut down.
Right.
years before.
I'll turn that over to my city manager because I'm here to speak on behalf of public safety.
I understand.
Is there any other questions for me? Manager.
The building is years past the certification mark. Why was something not done?
We're reviewing our processes now. I'm not sure of that, but of course, in light of what happened in Surfside, I immediately requested an audit of all of our buildings. So we're going in and we're looking at all of the buildings. They have requested extensions in the past,
It's been like 10 years.
I understand. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor DiFilippo, who will give our remarks in Spanish.
Buenos días, aquí estamos en la ciudad de North Miami Beach, delante de Crestview Towers. Hace más o menos una semana, el viernes, este edificio fue cerrado. Todavía sigue con problemas, no hay documentos que han venido por delante que han declarado que el edificio en sí se pudiera abrir. En brevemente, como habló el manager de la ciudad, mañana sí les vamos a dar un tiempo a los residentes para que entren a sus apartamentos. Le vamos a dar 15 minutos, no para que muden ningún mueble, sino si hay alguna medicina o algo que es de valor de ellos que necesitan agarrar, que lo pueden agarrar y salir. Nuestra responsabilidad como ciudad es la seguridad de cada uno de los individuales y residentes de nuestra ciudad. En estos momentos, con los documentos que nos han presentado, no están suficientemente correctos para darle la autorización para que la gente pudiera entrar al edificio en estos momentos. Si hay alguna pregunta en español que me quisieran hacer, me la pueden hacer.
Si no hubiera ocurrido el incidente de las torres que colapsan, ¿qué hubiera pasado con la reinspección de los 40 años de este edificio? ¿No se hubieran dado cuenta de lo ocurrido?
Lo dimos cuenta, lo que el tiempo que tenían, ya casi se estaba terminando con las extensiones que habían pedido, pero hoy más que nunca vimos que ya en ese tiempo no se les podía seguir dando extensiones, ya viendo que no estaban cumpliendo ni entrando los reportes adecuados para el departamento, y con eso el manager siguió con su autoridad y cerró el edificio adecuadamente para la seguridad de todo el mundo, porque hay demasiadas violaciones aquí del departamento de fuego, del departamento, hay permisos que estaban supuestos a haber sacado con la ciudad, que nunca habían sacado, y no es correctamente. Por eso que decimos que hay procesos que no se han hecho bien y no han cumplido con el deber de la certificación de los 40 y de los 50 años.
¿Cuáles son los principales daños que son los que evitan que se pueda volver al edificio?
Bueno, hay más de 18 violaciones en lo que es de fuego, que incluye las luces de emergencia, los generadores, por si acaso se van las luces o si hay problemas, más en estos tiempos de tormentas, que es muy importante. Hay problemas con inspecciones de mantenimiento de los equipos que tienen en el edificio y violaciones que quedan pendientes. También en este edificio de más de 300 personas, hay 3 elevadores. De lo que estoy oyendo, solamente uno de esos 3 está funcionando. Dos.
Son problemas eléctricos, pero en cuanto a la estructura, ¿qué afectación tiene
la estructura? Permítame. No está 100%, pero los inspectores van a dar esos reportes. Yo no estoy a la libertad para dar.
¿Está terminado el reporte de la estructura?
Todavía no los han entregado.
¿Y qué va a pasar con estos residentes? Muchos han tenido que dormir en las calles, en sus autos. Están momentáneamente en hoteles que los han ubicado, pero nos están diciendo que no tienen dónde dormir.
Los hemos puesto en hoteles, y también la asociación tiene la responsabilidad para responder por ellos, porque todo esto es culpa de las acciones.
¿Por cuánto tiempo?
Eso está por ver. Entre más rápido la asociación actúa y se mueve con lo que ellos tienen que dar presente, entre más rápidos lo podemos entrar otra vez.
Pero si la asociación no estuvo pendiente de la inspección, ¿cómo van a estar pendientes los residentes?
Bueno, están abajo de un reloj y tienen la responsabilidad fiscal para hacerlo.
Entonces, lo que habían explicado es que el reporte que entregó la asociación con el ingeniero que contrataron
no pasó los estándares.
No pasó.
Eso, por eso es que entonces...
No pasó y por eso es que la ciudad ha puesto también otro inspector de nuestra parte para verificar reporte con reporte para que todo sea completo, como dijo el manager, manzana con manzana.
Okay, last question, please. Let's let one more question to wrap it up.
¿Cuándo termina la inspección?
Eso no te lo puedo decir hasta que ellos pongan los papeles. Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Can I ask one follow-up in English?
One more question.
Question in English.
One quick question. About the $500,000 that are pending in fines, does the association have the money to pay?
We're not sure of that at this moment. At this moment, I know we did talk about it. One of the major components of this is the well-being of the displaced residents. I'm going to call on Mr. Ron Book from the Homeless Trust to speak on that. But right before I call him, let me introduce Vice Mayor Polly Villar to say a word.
Bonjour, et puis nous disons merci parce que nous venons. Moi c'est Polly Villard, c'est vice-magistrat dans North Miami Beach. Et je dis à nous ensemble avec Chifouen, avec magistrat, nous avec avocat et puis avec manager. Nous là aujourd'hui pour nous capables de donner nos informations, une update sur la situation qui a Crestview dans le Condominium. C'est ça que Crestview est fermé last Friday, vendredi passé. City avec toute notre agency et ils ont investi significant time, ils mettent un peu de temps avec effort dans pour être capable de safety avec structural assessment of the building. Nous comprenons que ça semble difficile pour sortir la caillou pour y aller de l'autre côté, mais c'est vraiment important pour nous capable d'être safe avant de retourner la caillou. Je suis vraiment stressé énorme. Ça est vraiment une situation qui est difficile, qui est sérieuse. Et nous prenons légal et moral obligation pour nous faire sure que nous retournent dans le building là, pendant le building là lui-même est safe. Ok, vendredi passé, nous finissons recevoir 40 de condos 40 ans de certification. Report là, nous avons conclu que le building là n'est pas capable d'être pour nous habiter là-dedans. Il va être safe pour nous habiter là-dedans. C'est vraiment difficile pour prendre une décision comme ça, pour retirer au monde. Dans quelques heures de temps, il va sortir la caillou. Mais quand même, l'évacuation nous a fait très bien. Tout le monde est sorti. Nous senti que nous devons travailler parce que nous avons priorité dans la planting. Nous dirigeons l'association pour capable provide update the certification report and then pour dire nous the next step in the timeline. Pour les résidents capables de connaître qui leur capable de retourner dans l'unité là, c'est bon. Merci.
We're going to right now introduce Mr. Ron Book, Chairman of the Homeless Trust. After that, we will give you the timeline. The residents will be allowed to come in tomorrow to retrieve.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Thank you all, and I apologize for my tardiness. The Homeless Trust is now housing a little over 55 individuals, 12 of whom are young children, 6 dogs and 3 cats. We have continued to take individuals in as referred through the manager and the council. We continue to take calls from individuals who are continuing to sleep in their cars or have been doubled up or tripled up in various locations since Friday night, bringing them in. Needs in this community. All of you are well aware of the challenges of affordable housing in our communities. The vast majority of the individuals that lived in the condominium over our shoulders were individuals living at 50% or more below the area mean income. Obviously, revenue issues are fairly important. We had a gentleman who moved here from Denver 3 weeks ago, relocated with a child to take a job at Delta Airlines. He put up his life savings to live here. First month, last month, a month security. There's no telling where that gentleman will ever recover those monies. We have made available legal services in Miami to the city and all of the individuals that they refer to get advice and counsel on how to potentially recover financial resources that have been put up towards their tenancy. But if you have somebody, for example, that may not meet the income standard for rental assistance ongoing, but will otherwise be threatened by homelessness, living on the streets or in their cars, it behooves us to find a way to help those individuals get into permanent housing. A week or a month on the street means $25,000 or more community cost when those individuals present themselves at the emergency room at Jackson Memorial. We know after 26 years what the cost of homelessness is in the community. So advancing funds on behalf of the residents of North Miami Beach who have otherwise been displaced by an irresponsible group of management folks allowing the building to get into the condition that it is in, and then misleading folks starting at the first of the year to where we are and find ourselves today is nothing short of a criminal act. I think that misleading individuals, which they have attempted to do in an effort which, well, I can't quite process, by indicating to people that they are going to be allowed to move back into this building today, yesterday, Monday, tomorrow, is nothing but a fraudulent group of statements that are self-serving to justify a second engineering report that they went out and got in an effort to somehow, if you will, shoot a level of credibility or discredibility, if you will, into the engineering report that they received at the end of 2020, and that was the subject of a letter they wrote to the association in January of 2021. Happy to take questions if you have any. I can assure you we are not going to abandon the citizens of North Miami Beach who have otherwise been put out because of the condition of their building and the potential threat to their health, their safety, and their welfare. Thank you.
How do people get in touch with the homeless trust if they need help?
Say that again, sir.
How do people get in touch with the homeless trust if they need help?
They are welcome to call our offices at 305-375-1490. And as I have done in many instances, I've given my cell phone and that of my executive director. My cell phone is 305-510-2000. Vicki Millette, our executive director's number is 786-251-8324. And to answer your question, Ron Book, I'm chairman of the Miami-Dade County Homeless Trust.
And can you or one of your colleagues here talk about what you think needs to change about condo associations? They make decisions without an engineering background that costs a lot of money and costs lives in Surfside.
That will come as a policy issue for the council. I think the chief would like to give some timelines, and then I'll be glad to come back and answer any questions that you may have, Chief.
Thank you. Okay, so I need the viewers to pay very close attention because this needs to be done in an orderly fashion. I've been out here almost every day, and one thing that I hear is that people need their medication. I'm hoping that there's no pets in the building. So in the interests of good faith, along with the city manager's approval, the mayor standing to my left, the vice mayor standing to my right, and the commission, we are going to open up the building to its residents tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I need one representative from each family to be here. You're going to meet with the police officer. You're going to be escorted into the building. You're going to be given 10 minutes to get the things that you need. I'm not talking about packing furniture, TVs, and couches. Medication, anything that you think is of value that you need to sustain your life for the next several days. We're going to give you that opportunity to go into the apartment. Pay attention, folks, please. Very important. Again, the hours are tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be one family member is going to be escorted in the building with a police officer. You're going to be given 10 minutes, and then we'll walk out with you. Did I say 15? Make it 15. I'm sorry. So that to keep everybody safe, to keep this orderly, this is the call from the community, and this is what we're doing to answer that call. Are there any questions about the process tomorrow? I ask that everybody be patient. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. We'll have tents set up here. We'll have water here on ice, and we will be out here. I'll be out here all day with my staff to make sure that it goes smoothly and you get into your apartments to get some of the things that you need to continue with your lives.
De valor o medicina de importancia que ellos necesiten. Le vamos a dar esa oportunidad mañana de 10 de la mañana, mañana viernes de 10 de la mañana hasta las 4 de la tarde para que un individual de esa residencia, de ese familiar, entre a la unidad a buscar cualquier medicación, cualquier cosa de valor. No se va a estar mudando muebles, solamente cosas que ellos necesitan, de medicinas o de valor. ¿Hay alguna pregunta? Ok, muchísimas gracias.
¿Qué hacemos los que no tenemos cama, los que no tenemos cómo cocinar? ¿Qué hacemos con la gente que unos amigos nos dieron un pedacito para dormir? Entonces, ¿qué solución nos dan?
Bueno, ahí en un momento lo vamos a hablar al lado para ver cómo le ayudamos a usted. Muchísimas gracias.
That's it. We're done. We're going to conclude this press conference. Thank you, guys.